Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your first gameplay for the brand new FV4030/3. This is the top level reward for the Enter the Serpent event here in War Thunder, and is a currently rank 6 battle rating 9.7 medium/main battle tank in the Great Britain Ground Forces tech tree. Now you might be wondering to yourself, this looks just like a Challenger prototype. And in a way, you are kind of right, but much more so, this is a heavily upgraded Chieftain tank. Yeah, believe it or not, this is based on the Chieftain, except with a substantial amount of composite armor on the front of the hull and turret, as well as even the sides of the turret have a pretty decent amount. And basically, if you guys didn't know, the FV4030/4, which is based on this, went on to become the Challenger, or at least was a work up into the Challenger, which is pretty interesting. And this vehicle itself was supposed to be presented to Iran, but of course we all know what happened there. Now that being said, again, this is a pretty big upgrade over the standard Chieftains. Much more horsepower than your standard Chieftain, let's just say the Mark III, with 1217. It does have a bit more armor, around 4.5 tons over the Khalid, which shares the same amount of engine power, and of course increases its mass by 4.5 tons. Now again, this is substantial armor and should be able to protect from the front and a bit on the sides against pretty much all heat FS, and to an extent versus APF SDS, although only mostly stray shots and also in down tier, so you do want to bear that in mind. Otherwise, this thing is pretty substantially upgraded again over earlier variants of the Chieftain. So as you can see here, it's got a 5-second reload rate at max, which is just phenomenal, whereas the Khalid, 7.5 seconds, Chieftain Mark III, 7.5 seconds, so this is excellent. It also has a 31 degree per second turret traverse rate at very most, which is again phenomenal, being that both the Khalid and the Chieftain Mark III have in the lower 20s. So it is a very big upgrade, just in the fact that this thing has the enhanced turret rotation and reload rates. Additionally, this does actually have really good gunner's optics of between 4 and 11.5 times zoom, whereas the earlier Khalid only has 7 to 10 times zoom. So not only does this have a greater range, but it also has greater zoom potential as well as even versus the Chieftain. So pretty damn upgraded. Now, unfortunately, this does not see any sort of thermals, but it does at least get the shot L23, which is very good at this BR, especially in a down tier. And in my opinion, thermals really are not all that necessary at this BR. However, they are becoming a lot more common, so it is kind of a letdown that it doesn't have thermals, but again, it's not really a killer so much. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into a few matches, see what we could do with this thing, with this mostly Chieftain kind of Challenger tank, and yeah, let's have a good time. Let's get into it. So of course, here we are with the Shir 2, which is, I guess, kind of its name in a way. I know it's the FV4030/3, however, it also went by the Shir 2, or Shir 3, whichever one. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So this vehicle is actually surprisingly quick. I mean, it's not like incredibly quick by any means, but it does get a bit more speed than I kind of expected it to. I think I'm actually hitting around the speed limit right now, so it's totally sufficient, which is good. I mean, actually, this is better than a lot of similar BR vehicles, I would say, like the Terms T, for example. That doesn't hold the candle to this. Is that a... Oh. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, now that we have him kind of hurting, that's fine by me. We have an enemy here, and he is designer toast. Perfect. I don't know what the hell that was all about. But in general, I mean, like, so you're looking at this vehicle, at least in my opinion, like, I'm looking at this in a few different ways, right? So really, like, the things that I kind of grade vehicles on at and around this BR are going to be things like armament, survivability, mobility. The armament on this is pretty good. I mean, it's not, like, absolutely incredibly powerful, but it's good. You know, it's got a, what is it, 410 millimeters of armor pen, 5-second reload. That's pretty good. It's got a, actually, you know what? I would say the armament's really good. It's great. It's got a, ooh, that's not good. It's got a 5-second reload at lowest, which is phenomenal. It's got, you know, really nice gunner's optics. Not necessarily the best, but among the better, if not among the best. You know, there's just a lot really going for this vehicle that I feel like the other chieftains don't have. Like, the Khalid doesn't have as much as this. Now, insofar as survivability is concerned, that remains to be seen. Chieftains, they're not really known for their survivability, in War Thunder at least, so I'm not really so entirely sure how good this is going to be, even with the additional armor. That, again, remains a bit to be seen. Oh, that sucks. I could have just gotten him. But I can just do that and hope that we get a shot. We have an enemy over there on my left. I saw him. And that is a Class 3P. Fantastic little vehicle, by the way. I think there's a vehicle back there, too. Man, this reload is just fantastic. Yeah, that's definitely a tank. But we're just going to keep on moving on here. Now, one thing I do like to do when it comes to, like, my gameplay videos, I don't really, like, at least when it comes to a vehicle like this, where this is a marketplace vehicle, this is, for a lot of people, the first time when they actually get to see it in action. I'm not, like, my goal on it, it's kind of to make, like, a semi-review, right? Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, here's 50,000 kills. Like, you can get 10 kills with any vehicle, right? Like, you can do well with pretty much any vehicle in War Thunder, given enough time. And so, if I were just to be out here and just say, oh, well, here's my best matches with it, that's not fair. I really want to show you guys, like, matches. You know, if I do well, I do well. If I don't do well, then I don't do well. That's fine, too. I want to show you guys accurate matches in which you can more or less accurately see what one can expect with this sort of vehicle. And, oh, that's it, you know. And, of course, I want to show you, like, I'm not just going to show you, like, me dying in the first 10 seconds, because that wouldn't make any sense. That's a failure on my part. But if I get 3 or 4 kills, awesome. You know, and that's kind of what we're doing here. We already have 4 kills, 1 assist. We have an enemy. Oh, I thought that was an enemy. That's just a bunch of sticks. Now, actually, one thing. So, yeah, you might have a 5-second reload, but the you only have what three shells in the first stage ammo stowage, which really isn't much. So you're only getting that 5-second reload for a relatively short period of time. Okay, I didn't really do much there, but that's fine. Also, we just kind of deflected a shot. That's good. We are deflecting shots here. Okay, he shot me right here. That's a good sign. That's telling me that the armor is working. Now, it's difficult to say exactly if that would have been deflected or stopped if I had been using a different vehicle. But hey, you know what? I cannot complain. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and hide a bit here, and then we can, of course, repair. Sorry if I'm kind of talking like William Shatner, but I don't know. I'm just a little excited about this vehicle. So, I can tell you guys this. While this doesn't have the greatest mobility in the world, it's actually more than sufficient for this BR, which I think I may have already mentioned, but I'm genuinely surprised by it because I didn't think it'd be this good. Like, I knew, ooh, that was ugly. That's what happens when you don't have a steady hand sometimes. Like, I knew it wouldn't be necessarily amazing, but it's good. It's good. Like, you know, on my vehicle reviews, typically I go, like, on a scale of 1 to 10 or something. On this, oh, look at that. We have ourselves a crit. On this, I will say it's like a 6. Ooh. He doesn't oh, that's bad. Turn. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, survivability right there. Oh, mama, look at that. That's survivability, guys. And I'm a little afraid now. But still, like, I'm actually genuinely surprised. This vehicle has better survivability than I had anticipated, and better firepower too, and better mobility. Oh, that's my own tank. I thought I was hearing enemy tank engine noises, but that's my own tank. It's just, I keep forgetting that English tanks are extremely wheezy. Okay. Oh, that sucks. We're gonna go back and cap this. And is there a fella there? Nope. No fellas nowhere. But we do have some enemies over to the right. But either way, so what will I rate this? And, you know, I'll be playing a little bit after this match too. But I'll say this. I mean, thus far, I'm gonna give this thing, because of its reload and its really nice cannon, I'll probably say like a 7.5 out of 10 for armament. Like, lacking thermal sights at this BR, yeah, it's a bit of a downer, but other tanks lack thermal sights, like really good tanks, such as the Leopard 2K. And so I really don't know if it's necessary at this BR. Mobility, yeah, I'll probably give it like a 6.25 out of 10. I mean, it's not like mind-blowing by any means, but it's good. It's definitely good. And then when it comes to survivability, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm gonna probably give it. I mean, I've resisted a lot more shots than I expected, so I'll probably give survivability a 6.5 out of 10. It's good, but there are some glaring weak spots that I feel like people are going to get used to. Okay. Fire control system is down. This guy can't really do much. Sorry. But there are some glaring weak spots, like right here. In pretty much any space between, like, the turret and, whatever else. Who is shooting me? Oh, how rude! Anyways, I thought I was gonna die. I'm actually really close. Wouldn't this be something? Ah, that sucks so much! I'm so close to a nuke, too. This is funny. But there you go. I mean, that's the survivability of this thing. Yeah, I mean, survivability might be a 6.5, maybe a 6.75 out of 10. I'm actually really impressed by this vehicle thus far. At its BR, at least. It's been very, very good. So, here's the thing. When it comes down to this vehicle, I kind of feel like, at least from what I can create, I'm not really all that great at making analogies, but probably the best analogy that I can think of for this vehicle is quite... Ooh, that was ugly! Is quite honestly that this is kind of like to the Challenger, right? Like, because this thing is, in effect, I mean, it's basically a Challenger. This thing is basically to the Challenger what the VK3002M is to the Panther. I don't really know if this thing is... I just don't really think that it's all that much different than kind of like a de-armored Challenger, in effect. And again, I think that is actually kind of a good thing. This thing is really, really good. And also, by the way, this is the reload right now without the first stage ammo stowage. So I'm still getting, like, what? It's probably about a 7.5 second reload. So it's pretty much what you could expect from his standard Challenger, which is not bad. So, I mean, in general, like, holy crud, man. And, like, look at the survivability. This is my first down tier, by the way. Okay, there we go. Let's see exactly where this hit, and then we can go ahead and respawn, and that'll be it. But pretty much head on, this thing has been surviving hella well. Let's go ahead and just respawn, I guess. But again, I mean, like I said, the whole point of these gameplay videos, like, I want to show you the pros, cons, strengths, weaknesses, you know, what happens if you die, you know, and stuff like that, or if you're shot from this angle or whatever. So, because I'm not here to portray this as like a super tank, because it's not, but I do want to show it, and I mean, like I said, I have had few issues with this tank. Like, I am genuinely surprised. Like, as somebody who doesn't feel like he needs thermals to see, this has been a very, very good vehicle. Like, if you don't need thermals, in order to just kind of play this game regularly, I think that you're going to be very happy with this. It's a very, very good tank, especially when you have those three rounds in the ammo stowage. It'll protect against a lot of shots from the front. Not so much, obviously, from the side, but from the front, does a good job. It'll move actually pretty decently, and it'll punch through pretty much any tank that you can think of with ease. So, I mean, it's just... I really think it's strange for me to say, especially about a British tank. I mean, the Khalid's really good. This is actually probably better at 9.7 than the Khalid is at 9.3. I think the extra armor actually helps out to a noticeable degree. Which is, again, not something that I ever expected to see or say. It's just that good. Okay, hopefully I don't die. There we go. Time to run away. Oh, Jesus. Ah! Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hide behind some hills or something. Oh, God! My team's being killed in their spawn. This is one of the more aggressive teams I've ever fought. Oh, look at that! We may have been hit, but I'm not dead yet. That's survivability. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of chill out behind these things. I mean, like I said, holy cow! Like, the survivability on this thing is really solid. Like, genuinely really good. And I bear in mind, too, there's a big difference between survivability and armor. And so armor is just a component of survivability. Survivability is the whole package, right? Survivability has to do with where your ammo is, how easy it is to pen and destroy the ammo if you have blowout panels, how cramped the crew is on the interior. I mean, like, that's not very cramped for an interior of a turret, which is very nice. And so this vehicle from the front is actually quite survivable. Like, again, I'm genuinely impressed by it in that regard. But in all, again, I genuinely really like this thing. Oh my goodness. Another survive shot right against the front of the turret. If this thing was the Khalid, if this thing was a standard chieftain, rather, I probably would have been killed. I have very little doubt that I would have been killed right there. Hopefully no one's there. Hopefully no one's to the right. Hopefully... Oh, okay. Thank goodness. This thing is just surviving so much. Like, a chieftain would not have survived that. Or the Khalid, for that matter. Because the Khalid has the same armor profile as the chieftain. Okay, we have an enemy. Nice! Ammo! Oh! And it's like that mobility. Just the ability to, like, lurch forward and take a shot, man. Like... Overall, I'm giving this thing like a solid, easily a 7 out of 10. And before you guys were like, oh, that's not that good. To me, that's good. Like, that's a good score. This is just a solid option. I don't see where this thing's going to stay at 9.7, personally. I just don't see it. It's just, between its reload rate, its ammunition, that was so ugly. If I had shot a little bit lower, I just kind of moved my hand up real quick. But between everything, like, that was a lower Glacis shot, and he got me. But if he had shot me in the turret, wouldn't have. So with that being said, yeah, I mean, this thing is easily a 7 out of 10, 7.25 out of 10, maybe. I mean, like, most vehicles, I rank in the low 6s. This might even be better than 7.25 out of 10. Like, you're talking, I'll probably, you know, I'm going to upgrade its armament. 8.0 out of 10, easily. Its survivability, 6.5. Mobility, 6 out of 10. And probably, again, giving this thing like a 7.25 out of 10, which is excellent. Excellent. So, would I buy it on the marketplace? I'd probably say, just because it's an event vehicle, not a premium, I'd probably say like 30 bucks, 35 bucks, maybe 40. It's a very good vehicle. but I foresee its BR increasing in the future to 10, maybe 10.3. But we'll have to see. But either way, thanks so much for watching. If you don't mind, please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channels. That really helps me out tremendously. But thanks again. I'll see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone. I gotta turn these engines down and throttle a bit.